So I'm here at Melbourne Testing Services and we are going to be doing some soft shackle testing to destruction. So this machine has got generate a force of 200 tonnes. It's going to pull this soft shackle apart and then we're going to do some more like this one and just see what they break at. Now in this testing I'm not allowed to tell you the diameter of the shackles as they are experimental and for research purposes, so the purpose of the video really is to take a look and see how these things break, the nature they break, and you can sort of guess the diameter anyway. It takes around 3.5 minutes to break a shackle using this machine, so I'm speeding the video up and just slowing it down when you can see the exciting bit. Now these are prototype shackles, so they don't have an MBS, a minimum breaking strain, so I can't tell you how the actual breaking strength works against the MBS. I am here today to see how the testing is done so I can come back properly prepared for my own tests. Now for that I welcome input from viewers, what you'd like to see tested and how. For example, I thought of elongation versus strain, breaking strength versus MBS, effects of different bend radius, etc, etc. Now I'm going to buy all of these shackles, so if you do have anything which you don't need and you're in the Melbourne area, let me know, or alternatively go to my Patreon account and send money so I can afford to buy all of this stuff, and we'll do a proper testing where we exactly see how this stuff stacks up against its MBS. Now for the rest of the video I'm going to show a variety of shackles breaking and then finish up the video with a summary of what I've learned today. So this gauge shows the force being applied by the machine, and that's in kilonewtons. Now 1 kilonewton is approximately equal to 100 kilograms. It's actually 101.971, but what you can do is just look at that scale and go, okay, it's reading 92, so that's 9.2, maybe not 9.3 tons, give you an idea of the force being applied. Very slowly indeed. So the video is back in real time now and the shackle is about to break. 92 you can see there, 93, 95, 96, 97, now it breaks. Now when it breaks it's still some strands there, so it's still capable of taking a load but much less than it was before because not all strands are broken. So you see it's going up there to 82, 83, 85 and then it's going to just snap again and down to 40. So it's interesting the way it goes. Sometimes it will snap completely, other times just one strand will go and it sort of goes down. Now you can see it's down to 11, so it's really completely dead at this point. So this one's broken, and as you can see that's where it broke. It didn't break out the knot end, just the bits which went around the knot snapped, and I guess that's because it's got the greatest bend radius at that point. So yeah, test one done. So it's interesting to look at how these two shackles have broken. One of them is broken with basically the bit which goes around the eye. The other one is just snapped at this point somewhere along its length. And we just look at this red one that's just been broken. That's broken differently again. That's the point at which it's going around the eye. In fact, you can't obviously see it on video, but there's actually a bit of warmth here because the amount of energy that's gone into breaking that thing. So this one broke again at the knot, which is the most common place for soft shackles to break, and that's because the bend radius of the rope is quite small when it goes around that knot there. Now the machine's also got this dial scale as well, which is pretty interesting to watch as something just snaps. So again, this one is broken right around the knot. You can see that there's a single strand which didn't break. Now, the testing machine we're using goes very, very slowly. So as soon as there's no load, there's no load. Whereas in a full drive situation, that would be completely pulled out. So probably more likely to snap there completely. Okay, so let's summarise then. The yellow shackle, the one you saw first, broke at 95 to 116 kilonewtons, and that's a difference of 18%. The two red shackles were 10% difference, and the small blacks were 25% difference, and the large blacks 5%. So There's one important point from this. The soft shackles are handmade, so there's going to be some variability there. But if you were doing testing to say what's the minimum breaking strength, which would you pick? Would you pick 95 or 116? Well, the answer is you've got to test quite a number of units. Pick the one which has broken at the lowest strength and probably take maybe, I don't know, 10-20% off that, and then call that the minimum breaking strength. Now, how many manufacturers do that? I would suggest not all of them, and that should be a cause for concern, which I have covered in another video. Okay, now here's the things which I learned from the day. Like I said, I'm going to go back and do a more comprehensive test. That was kind of just to watch what happens with the prototypes. The first thing is there's actually quite a significant amount of stretch with the shackles, as you can see from the videos, but there's not a lot of recoil. We didn't need to get behind glass doors or anything else like that, so it's fairly safe. Breaking around a knot is the most common. That was reflected in the testing, and you know, they've broken over 600 soft shackles, so they've got an idea, and I think that's because the bend radius is smallest. And then from an operational perspective, often a strand or two goes first. You could see that in the video quite clearly. You could hear that bang noise there. So as ever with any form of four-wheel drive recovery gear, inspecting it for damage is important. If you see a strand or two, well, obviously that's going to weaken it. And you know, as per the previous slide, very variable braking strength there. So I just hope the manufacturers are setting an appropriate minimum braking strength. And the position of the knot, it's really not that critical. I know people have said put it here, put it there. Where you saw it in the video is probably optimal, but because there's such variability in the braking strength, the exact position of the knot doesn't really matter. So I hope you found this video useful. Stand by for more testing on this subject, and if you've got any questions, please drop them in the comments, and thanks for watching.